Move over gold. Hello, Bitcoin. As gold outflows are over $2 billion as Bitcoin is seeing massive amount of inflows via the ETF. Is Bitcoin the new gold standard? We'll talk about that. We also have news regarding Janet Yellen. Peter Schiff has tweeted. We're going to share that. We got Elizabeth Warren effectively doing a U-turn on her anti-crypto stance. What does she say and what does she do? And is she in our corner now? Do we even want her in our corner? We're also talking about Michael Saylor rebranding MicroStrategy from a software company to, well, you could probably guess what they rebranded to. Also, we did enter a new long trade. We'll share that with you. And will we close our XRP trade in the green today? You're going to have to stay tuned and find out on today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we're the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. We take old, boring, stale information, repackage that thing up in a fun and sexy way.
It's your boy Purple Rob.
Purple Rob
Blending in with the color, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Jimmy was right, you know.
Oh.
Jimmy said, hey, David's wearing a blue shirt. Robin is 2 buttons down. He's right. But then he said Rock was in the studio. He's not right. He also said Ashley's nowhere to be found. That is incorrect, as Ashley's in the producer desk. On today's show, we have a lot to talk about today. So we're gonna just jump right in here, okay? So in the thumbnail, gold, nope. Bitcoin, yeah. But what do I mean? This is what I mean. Gold ETFs see $2.4 billion in outflows, while the ETFs of Bitcoin continue to thrive. Gold exchange-traded funds have faced significant outflows this year. According to Bloomberg intelligence analyst Eric Balkunis, the leading 14 gold ETFs have experienced outflows of $2.4 billion in the last 45 days. $2.4 billion has left gold ETFs in only the last month and a half. The largest outflows, shockingly, came from BlackRock's iShares Gold Trust and their Gold Trust Micro and their Gold Trust. So with losses of $230 million and $423 million respectively, so about $650 million just from BlackRock has left their gold ETFs. And well, we know BlackRock is a leader when it comes to inflows of the Bitcoin spot ETF. So Rob, real quick before I move on, do you think BlackRock is actively maybe telling people to move money out of the gold ETF and kind of, you know, split it between gold and Bitcoin, or you think people are just doing that on their own?
Yeah, people are doing that on their own. I remember Larry Fink came out and had a little tour of press conferences and repeatedly was beating the drum for Bitcoin and even smart contracts and tokenization of real world assets and tokenization of stocks. I mean, didn't see that one coming. But anyways, so the people knew, or people saw Larry Fink actively promoting Bitcoin, and sure, you know what, he sees an opportunity to make money. Most successful ETF launch ever. More money being generated than gold, and they identified this.
Gold is still the number one asset in the world, right? 13 some odd trillion dollars.
As far as market cap, yeah.
Period. 13 trillion.
Yeah.
There
I'm
is
just
not
talking
a
about
single,
as a global asset. Yes,
there's not a single company. There's not a single commodity that is worth more than gold in total.
Yeah, because gold is global. It's also has utility outside of being a precious metal that people
Been
wear.
around for 5,000 years.
Yeah, and I mean, it's in all of our electronics, in your computer, your phones, your car,
Jewelry. Some people's mouths. Some people have gold grills.
How much
Did you ever
gold?
get a
How much
gold-
gold do you have on right now?
Yeah, white gold, my wedding ring. I have gold in other places I cannot say.
What exactly is white gold?
Gold that identifies
Gold is yellow.
It's
like,
silver
what
that
makes it white?
It's silver that identifies as gold
Mm.
on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't.
It sounds like white gold is like the Bitcoin SV of. It's
Anyways, moving
like
on.
the
Valentine's Day, not so lovely for the ETFs in comparison to what we've seen as total net flows, only 339 million in the positive. Grace,
only.
well, I say only in like perspective to what we've been seeing over the last 3-4 weeks, right? 400 million, 500, 500, 630. We did see an uptick in grayscale outflows going from 51, 95, 72 to 131 million in outflows yesterday. BlackRock continued to lead the way with another 224 million flowing into their ETF, with Fidelity coming in at number 2, over 100 million. And number 3 is Bitwise, and ARK is, well, number 3 was ARK yesterday. But as far as total, Bitwise is number 3, ARK is number 4. I was saying 3 ETFs that within the first 30 days, less than 30 days, have reached $1 billion in inflows. 3 of them. Not 1, not 2, but 3 of them. Never happened before in that short period of time, not even with gold. So very interesting. Then we have this. So we might see some more outflows on GBTC as the court. So last week we shared news that Genesis was looking to sell their GBTC Trust shares. They're just waiting on the court to give them the green light. Well, the court has given them the green light to sell $1.6 billion in Grayscale's Bitcoin and ETH funds. About $1.3 billion is in the Bitcoin fund. The rest is in ETH. I think the flows are so strong. We might, slim possibility we see one day where we have a negative flow, right? Where we have more outflows than we have inflows.
I don't think so.
I'm saying a slight chance, very slight. I don't think so either, but
Here, take a look at this chart. So this represents. Oh, sorry, my chart is not up there. Be up in a second, but no, we've seen a rally in the inflows, and the outflows are coming to a trickle. And I know that Genesis is going to liquidate, but I'm telling you, the sell pressure, the buy pressure on the other side is dwarfing anything, and it's ramping up. And as we get closer to the halving, as there's more FOMO in traditional finance, it's a no-brainer. So here I have, I found some interesting charts last night. I was doing a little research. So this here represents volume, or this one's the flows. Excuse me. So this is Bitcoin flows. The red represents others, which for the most part is Grayscale here. And so you can see that the selling, as far as when the ETF went live, you can see these candles. This was Grayscale here. Just massive amount of liquidation. We went from, I think it was 28,000 or 20. Well, I don't remember the starting number that Grayscale had, but now they're down to 23 billion, right? And at one point they were at 27 or 28. I don't remember the exact number, but tons of liquidation here. The red candles represent the selling of Grayscale. On the other side, you can see the buy. So here, just on Friday, for example, you had the outflows here of 65 million, but inflows at 400 million. So, then also, if you take a look at this first one here, this represents the volumes here as well. So you can see here, volume, obviously day one, tons of volume because it just went public for the first time. But you can see here that the volume is ramping up. And if you look at Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you can see that the volume is absolutely out of control. 2.25 billion. So almost $2.5 billion in volume yesterday alone. And very similar the 2 days before. Lots of movement. And then here you have just the sheer market cap. So this is assets under management here. So you have $20 billion worth of Grayscale's holdings is about 20 billion. And then you have BlackRock at 3.3 and then Fidelity at 2.7. Now, this hasn't updated. It doesn't look like because they have ARK at 700 and they've crossed the 1 billion mark. But no, man, this is it's a massive, massive amount of accumulation. I mean, just look at these first two here, man. 3 billion, 2 billion, and then you take a look at the market cap of Bitcoin in its totality. You know, it's over $1 trillion. And you know how many traditional investors are looking at this asset class and say, hey, Bitcoin is not a Ponzi scheme. It's not, you know, has the backing of BlackRock. And these people didn't decide to buy the ETF like everyone else. They're just like, you know what, I'd rather self-custody. And so what's represented in the number of buyers in the ETF doesn't even show the whole ecosystem of traditional investors getting exposure to Bitcoin, right? How many people on Wall Street's like, you know what, I will buy some Bitcoin, but I'm not going to buy the ETF. I'm going to actually buy the underlying asset.
Not a lot.
You don't think it's a lot?
On Wall Street? No.
Yeah.
No.
I
think they can give a crap less.
I mean, look at Michael Saylor.
You're comparing one guy to one.
How many? But and then look at Mark Yesko. I mean, the list goes on and on. You just keep going by all these big names. Scaramucci, you think he's buying ETF? No, he's buying underlying assets. But so how much? That's
a small group of people in a large ocean of people.
But the largest ocean in the world. A small group of people control majority of the money. So you know, there's always a saying. Was it 1% of the population controls 90% of the money?
Yeah, but you don't have Elon Musk isn't buying Bitcoin in custody. Right?
He literally owns Bitcoin.
I think he personally owns Bitcoin. I know
he said he does on his little Twitter Spaces. He said, "Yeah, okay. I own Bitcoin."
I must admit,
and Tesla owns.
I thought he was
Bitcoin.
talking about his SpaceX and Tesla.
So he owns Bitcoin. Tesla owns Bitcoin. He also owns Doge as well. I mean, if you think that the smart money, maybe it's split 50-50. Maybe it's split 30-70. But if you think that the smart money out here, people that have made billions of dollars, millions of dollars over over their lifetime by identifying disruptive technologies and investing in an asset class that is growing, you know, they've made their money repeatedly off of similar theses, right?
You think they're becoming degenerates? You think they're like 8%, 8%, 10%, 12%, 12%, and now they're like, whoa, we can get like 60%.
Oh, well, think about it this way. People that invested in aviation, for example, and all like in Delta and United Airways and all these big airlines, they made their money back in the 70s and 80s when the airline industry was starting to take off. They identified that this was going to be disruptive. They were like, "Hey, man, not everyone's gonna do road travel anymore. Airline travel was a luxury, right? It was for privilege. It was for business." Now it's every day. Every time you go to travel somewhere, you pretty much pick up if it's more than 3-4 hour drive, you're gonna fly, right? It didn't used to be like that.
If I could fly to the studio, I would.
And so, anyways, people identified disruptive technologies that were going to take up a market share, and in doing so, they made money. And this is no different. And so these people that made money off of the cell phone industry, off of the internet industry, off of aviation, off of streaming, off of Uber, off of whatever it is.
Robin, you hear that? What? You hear the splashing in the ocean?
Did we get a new whale member?
I think it's a whale. Hey, I hear a whale.
All right, new whale member. Let's run it.
There she blows.
Bam! Beamcat, welcome to the well-membered group, my friend.
It's been a while. Glad we opened that door again.
Yeah. Got a couple messages in Discord. So we worked really hard. We worked really hard to give you guys back on the sponsorship deals that we make. And so Lux Algo, when we signed a deal with them, we said, hey, we want to take care of our community. And so they share that same vision. And so they were able to do a special 20% discount off for the entire channel. But for this whale members, special 40% off any product and service on Lux Algo. We did have 2 of our whale members use that code. So big shout out to you guys. Also, you're going to get your name in the credits of the show, my friend. You'll get access to our whale Discord, and we'll get you your 10% discount off of merch as well. And so, and we're trying to bring value to the people that support us and the community as a whole. So big thank you for the support. Right. We appreciate you.
Thanks for making a big splash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also making a big splash is our channel sponsor, Cam's Blue Wire Technology. You want to learn how they can help your business scale and grow and maximize your networking, IT, and the most important, cybersecurity, especially nowadays. There is no better company to go with than Cam's Blue Wire Tech. Pick up the phone, call them. They'll stay on the phone as long as they need to help you solve all the issues so you can focus on making money for your business. Visit BlueWireTech.com. There's a link in the description of this video. Speaking of videos, I do have a video. So we talk about 3 billion, 2 billion. Robin, that's chump change, apparently, according to these two gentlemen. Talking about the potential inflows of Bitcoin by end of next year.
I'm anticipating that by the time we get to the end of 2025, we're talking 2 years, we're going to see total inflows of more than $150 billion. We're only at 5 right now.
And what is going to propel? That's a big claim. That's a big number. What's going to propel that?
It really isn't all that big when you do the simple arithmetic. Individual investment advisors, independents, those that are operating their own firms, collectively manage around $8 trillion in assets, and 3/4 of them in every industry survey done by DAC-FP as well as by Bitwise all show that 3/4 of advisors say that they're going to allocate to these ETFs and that their average allocation is going to be about 2.5% of assets. Do the arithmetic. $8 trillion times 77% times 2.5% is $150 billion worth of flows, and that's just independent advisors. It excludes the wirehouses, it excludes the regional broker-dealers, it excludes the institutional investors. Well, I'm anticipating that by the time we get to the end of
that, Robin. That's a big number.
It is a big number.
That's a big number.
What was the number?
150 billion.
150 billion? Well, I mean, we talk about it all the time. And anyways, money moves slow in the stock market, right? And hedge funds, private investors, as they were saying, or what was it? What do they call it? Private investor houses?
Wirehouse?
Yeah. Anyways, these small money managers is essentially what they're referring to. They control a lot of capital, right? You can think of them in the kind of the same boat as venture capital, but of investing. And I know plenty of people. That my neighbor's one. He has a small investment company that manages his portfolio. I was asking him about it. He's like, yeah, they only got like 20 clients. And so, anyways, you know, these small investment houses are representing a large amount of people. And if this small domino, right, falls over and starts piling into Bitcoin, I mean, how much money is in the big houses, right? I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but when all of these large hedge funds, money managers, the big ones, the ones you see on commercials, once they get in, because from the sounds of it, first is going to be small money managers, and then the big money will follow, right? Isn't that kind of...
Sounds about right.
It sounds like how it's going to be. And if you're getting $150 billion coming in from just small mom and pop money managers, I know they're not mom and pop, but still, you know, the ones that they're not advertising, they're not a household name. If they're bringing that amount of capital with a 1 to 5% allocation of Bitcoin, what does this place look like when the real dogs come in? When the companies that manage 30% of America's wealth come in, because they're coming, and I mean, if anything, they're already here.
They're gonna get.
They're the ones custodying.
You think you got FOMO? You think you got FOMO? Wait till these hedge fund managers are sitting around at Christmas parties and get-togethers. Yeah, we returned 40% to our stakeholders and to our investors. Oh, how'd you know? This new Bitcoin ETF, the halving and this and that. What?
I mean, imagine if me and you are working in an office, right? And you got your 401k and retirement portfolio. I got my 401k retirement portfolio. And we're both setting aside, say, $100 a paycheck or something. All of a sudden, you come in and you're like, "Hey, man, my money manager got me back. He 3x'd my retirement." Like, what? Like, yeah, he 3x'd it over the last 2 years. Like, how? Like, well, he got me a nice position on Bitcoin. It doesn't even matter how. You could even leave the whole how out. He'd be like, hold on, he did what? He'd be like, yeah, here, look at this. And he pulls out his phone. He's like, yeah, I have a retirement portfolio, 1.7. Now it's at $5 million. And then you're just like, well, can I get his number? And then you don't even know, you don't have no idea that Bitcoin's the reason. But you're just like, yo, this guy, my friend, is up tremendously on his retirement account. His financial advisor or broker that manages his account is killing it, and I want to be part of his circle, right?
Huge. You know, speaking of being in circles, it seems like Elizabeth Warren is trying to be in our circle. Look at this, Robin.
Is she laser eye or something?
Elizabeth Warren signs a certificate to honor Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto with a ceremonial flag flying. Americans are forever grateful. I swear to God. The flag of the United States. This is to certify that the accompanying flag was flown over the United States Capitol in honor of Satoshi Nakamoto for the 15th anniversary of Bitcoin, the first truly inclusive financial system that is providing new economic freedoms to populations previously ignored by both public and private institutions. Americans are forever grateful. Signed, Elizabeth Warren, U.S. Senator.
Hold on.
For Massachusetts.
What is happening here?
And well,
what in this is a Trojan horse.
Hold on. Hold your horses here. Caitlin Long, the founder of Custodia Bank, said, oh my God, there were rumors of a pro-Bitcoin mole on Elizabeth Warren's staff. One person told me I'd know it when I saw it. Well, guess this is it. Okay, if this doesn't tell you that these damn politicians and lawmakers don't read what they sign, I don't know what will, right? There is no way that this came across her desk and she read it. She was like, oh, next, sign, next, sign, next, sign. Or, Robin, as you said, you think this is a Trojan horse. This is very amusing to me. What is that noise?
You okay?
She has no idea, man. Yeah, you're right. No, I'm telling you. No, I think she does know.
Think so?
I like what you were saying. I like it. You almost convinced me
Of
that she had no idea what she signed. But no, this is a plan.
It's not
put together.
Plan to
It is
what?
a Trojan horse. I don't know yet.
You think she's?
I have to do some more research into.
You think she's slipping in the polls in Massachusetts, and she's like, "Look, this anti-crypto stance is not working. Let me try to save face here."
Let me do some research. This is the first I heard. I was driving in here. I was playing some other YouTubers live show today, and I heard them saying about Elizabeth Warren flipping, but I didn't know quite the details, and so I thought they were joking. Apparently, it's not a joke; it's real. But there's more to this, man. There has to be. There has to be more.
We got our detectives on it, guys. No rush.
Big Rob will be back with a full report on Monday.
Thank you. I do have this to share from Mr. Peter Schiff. So a lot of people hate on this man. I've hated on him before, but he's a smart dude, right? He's just not smart when it comes to Bitcoin, but smart guy. U.S. retail sales plunged 0.8% in January. So in 1 month, retail sales dipped almost 1%, the biggest monthly drop since the lockdowns of COVID, even as retail prices continued to rise. Meanwhile, import and export prices both spiked the same amount. This confirms the economy is cooling down just as inflation is heating up. This is stagflation. But fear not, as Janet Yellen tells us. Well, listen to what she has to tell us.
Are you and President Biden happy with where inflation is right now?
Well, look, we know that Americans are experiencing discomfort because some important prices are higher than they were pre-pandemic. But what I think is really important is that wages have gone up along with prices, so people are better off than they were pre-pandemic.
Are you and President Biden happy?
You watching, are you better off before COVID happened? Are you spending less money on groceries? Are you spending less money on travel? Are you spending less money on rent? Are you paying less on your mortgage? Are you spending less at the grocery store?
Mm-hmm.
Are you? I'm not. I'm not. It's just funny how out of touch these people are. And these are the people who don't read what they sign, and they try to tell us, hey, everything's great, man. You guys, we're doing great. Wages are up in comparison to what? Real wage growth is stagnant. We're not even out. I mean, we're not even close to keeping up with inflation over the last 30 years. People are still, and the whole reason the job market, we added this, people are literally going against second, third, and fourth jobs just to pay for groceries. Very sad. And then we have this, some discerning news. Apple fans are returning their Vision Pros. I don't know if it's a product or, well, because we're doing so good, Jenny Ellen. Not sure.
Well, I mean, it's $3,500. I'm sure after you played around with it for a week, you're like,
I'm good.
I'm just basically wearing a $3,500 iPad on my head. That's all it is. $3,500 iPad.
Is it a cheaper option just to get one of those straps and just put an iPad in front of you?
Or just freaking hold the phone closer to your face. How about that? There you go. I do want to say real quick, and I'm a little behind here. I was pulling up the chart, but I did want to show you the gold chart. I know you had Peter Schiff, theme of the thumbnail, and so here you have gold. So this was back in 2011, 12 years ago. Gold was at $1,824 per ounce. And now it's at $2,000 per ounce. A whole
Huge.
over 12 years. After 12 years with God knows how much printing,
13 years.
gold is up $150.
Wow.
$150 up in 13 years. This is the asset class that.
But you know, for some people, they're okay with that, right?
How are you okay?
But they want
not making any money for 13 years.
They want a more. It's still appreciating against a dollar. Okay,
At $150 every 12 years.
To some people, they don't care, right? They would rather have something that moves up
I
1 to
will
2%
say
a year.
I will say, if you zoom out on this, I mean, you can see gold versus, in this. So back in 2001,
ETF
gold,
Life.
the gold was $266. And then if you go back even further, back into God knows how long. Yeah, here we go. There we go. So back in the 60s, prior to us leaving the gold standard, gold was $50 an ounce. Back in '69, $22 an ounce. Look at that. And then, you see where it is now. And is it kind of funny that this chart went
It only took 50 years to 10x.
This chart went parabolic after we went off the gold standard, right? Dollars weren't backed by gold anymore. You just print to infinity. And then now everything costs more. Yeah. Good luck buying a house or even renting. So I feel bad for like the younger generation, right? You used to like graduate. When I graduated, like pretty much by the time you were 21, you had an apartment, right?
Yeah.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
Now, hell no. You can't.
You have an apartment. Well, no. You do have an apartment. You just share it with your parents.
Yeah, you share an apartment with your parents, or you live with 4 roommates. What about you there,
Gravy
Train? You bought a house
I am
yet?
Pale.
Okay.
Not buy a house yet.
Actually, I'm not going to say your age, okay? Because that's personal. If you want to share, you can. But you are part of that younger generation.
Yeah.
From a anecdotal standpoint, right? Are you struggling? Like, are you even thinking about buying a house? Like, do you like if you don't feel comfortable talking about any of this, please.
Hell no, I can't buy a house right now.
Is it?
If we get enough super chats, maybe you can.
Maybe. You might be right.
Do you even have a desire to buy a house? I remember when my dad came to this country, his dream, the American dream, he said, was to own a business and buy a house. And he did both. What is do you even want to buy a house? Or are you at a point where is your generation more like, hey, we'd rather have roommates and split bills?
I know my age people want roommates. I don't want roommates.
Your age
but
people?
My age people.
Oh,
Y'all are in the dinosaur ages.
Oh.
But my age people want roommates, but I don't want roommates. I want to be able to buy my own house, but I cannot. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. And that is what a majority of younger people, I mean, I have a brother who's 23. No, 20. Damn, he's 25. Holy shit. I have a brother who's 25, and he makes good money, but he can't get approved for a home loan because the interest rates are so high. And so that is what we're seeing across the board. And then I do want to share, you know what, actually? Well, let's get into the markets. Robin, market time.
Market time.
Market time.
All right. So we have Bitcoin coming in at 51,900. It's been flirting with this $52,000 range all day. So you can see 51,900.
It's aggressively flirting too.
Yeah, she's a little tease, huh? So you can see here, if you go back to the last 7 days, nice healthy growth from 45,000 up into the right, eclipsing 50,000. Do we hold over 50K?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least for a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
50K is, yeah.
Now maybe the market gets a little overbought. Maybe we get up to 58,000 in a little short period of time, and the market corrects, and we dump off back down to 47 or something. I could see something like that. But right now, the steady, sustained growth up and to the right, basically every 3 or 4 days, we go into a new range. And it's extremely bullish. And if you go back to the 1 month here, you can see that it was only on January 25th that we were at 40,000 flat. We were under 40,000 back in January 23rd. So less than a month ago, we were at $38,000 and getting closer to 52,000. Crazy, man. Taking a look at the broader market.
Hold on, Rob. Before you move on from Bitcoin, just real quick. I want to show this real quick. So I'll look at it on my laptop here. So we have the daily on BTC, and I'm kind of seeing a freaking massive cup and handle, right? So you got a cup and then the handle, and we did break out of the handle, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, right? So here you have, so essentially it's a cup. So price is trending down kind of in a circular manner. Then price starts going up slowly. And then once it hits, and it almost hit perfectly, the top of where the cup originated from, you saw a trend to the downside, which is your handle there. And then we broke up. Well, the way you measure a move like this is you take the base of the cup, right? And you measure to the bottom, right? Or the top of the cup to the bottom, to the base of the cup. And then you take this trend line, and from the breakout we had, this measured move would bring us, Robin, to new all-time highs. So pretty interesting there. I'm gonna keep it on the daily, and I'm gonna throw some things on here. So we're gonna take a look at the Ichimoku, seeing where we're at as far as trend, and are we getting any reversals here? So Bitcoin on the daily looks extremely strong. All the indicators on Ichimoku are looking great. Cloud is green. Price is trading above the conversion line, and the baseline is trading below the conversion line as well. On the Lux Algo indicators down here on the RSI, we are in overbought territory, but again, in bull markets does not really matter. As you can see here, we had a nice chunk of a little less than a month of just complete oversold territory, and Bitcoin continued to gain in price. And then as far as the matrix oscillator, everything is pointing to sell, right? The sell signal, overextended hyperwave, money flow is green, and of course the RSI is overbought. But some things, man, here's the thing with TA, okay? TA is great. It gives you an idea of the psychology of the market, what people are doing, what the participants are doing. But at the end of the day, right, the flows from these ETFs and the impact that they're having on the supply side and the demand that's coming in, you can't put everything on a chart, right? At some point, the chart's not going to matter unless you go down to the super lower time frames, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, even the 1 hour. If we take a look at the 1 hour on BTC, still looking bullish. Well, on the longer, on the bigger indicator side of the Ichimoku, right? Still trading above the cloud. If we do come down, expect to get some support right around 51,168. That is where our cloud begins. Strong money flow on the hour on the Lux Algo Matrix Oscillator here, but we are seeing some potential bullish divergence as price continues to go up and the RSI is continuing to go down. So that is a positive for BTC. And then if we take a look at the VRVP here, if we don't hold this cloud level around 51.1, we could potentially see a slight wick to under 50K, potentially, because there's really no volume coming in between this 51.5 and this 50K level flat. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on a BTC, but I'd be very hesitant shorting the market here, even if you're looking to scalp or just take some profits, right? Like a quick in and out intraday trade. Have tight stop losses and put in damn limit orders, man. And start doing, and you can even do trailing stops and take profits. So something to keep an eye on. But I'll tell you what, if you go long here Bitcoin and you hide your liquidation under 42K, there's almost a 0% chance of getting liquidated, in my opinion. Almost 0% chance. Go ahead, Robin.
All right. So taking a look back at the altcoin market, we have Ethereum up, performing pretty well, especially on the weekly.
Ethereum looking jacked and juicy, man.
Bro, Ethereum's at up 16%, outperforming Bitcoin, outperforming pretty much everything outside of Avalanche in the top 20. So top 20, so Ethereum leading the charge, which if you look historically, when Bitcoin runs, then Ethereum runs shortly thereafter, and then the altcoins follow, and then degen plays after that. So some of the biggest gainers on the 24-hour, VeChain up 30%.
VeChain just ripped.
Bro, up 30%, up over 50% on the week. And then you got Aptos up 10%, Say up as well. Ronin making some moves as well, up 7%. Interesting to see that back up in here. And then some of the bigger pullbacks today, Pendle, not familiar with that one. Pyth Network, Celestia, Beam, and Clayton. So most of these are still up for the week. You can see Beam, for example, still up 50% on the 7 days, but a nice little pullback. So most of the market outside of Celestia is just rallying hard.
Rob, do me a favor. Go in the search and type in BCAT.
BCAT?
Yep. The third one. Oh, price not tracked. Damn it. Let me see if I can find that on
Beamcat?
Yeah.
Is this the one?
That is the one, but the price is not tracked. So Forrest was on our show. I believe it was last Friday. He's been on our show a few times, but he was on the show last Friday. I think CoinGecko has it. Let me check CoinGecko real quick. This is why you want to stay tuned into the show. Here we go. Because you'll get nuggets of alpha dropped. And if you take a look at the last 7 days, right? The last 7 days, Beamcat is up. Over the last 7 days, Beamcat is up. Where'd it go? Here we go. Okay, let's try this. Give me 2 seconds. So Forrest talked about this. His thesis behind this one was, hey, Beamcat, it's the only, here, let's see if we can get some good info here. It is the only meme coin on the Beam network, right? And I don't know if these prices are correct, but here, Sunday, February 11th, from bottom to top, to wick, 335%. This is a token that Forrest talked about on this show. And if you followed it and you got in, you would have been over 3x gains in your portfolio. So don't miss the show, is what I'm trying to say. And then as Rob mentioned, did you talk about Stacks, Robin?
Not yet.
Stacks, just a massive rally, right? We were in a short position on Stacks, immediately got out after we saw Bitcoin rip to 52K from about 51K. But we did enter a long position on Stacks, and I'll tell you why. And so taking a look here at our positions here on the platform here, we have XRP. We are up 55% on our long position, 20x long on XRP. And we are currently in the red on Stacks, but we did open a 10x long position on STX. And this is what I was seeing. So on the 4 hour, right, we saw this massive rally, great volume support. And now we're seeing a formation of a bull flag. Seeing a formation of a bull flag. If we throw on, let me take off this VRVP. Nope, it wasn't that. It was, bam. You can see here, we're catching some support on the upper end of the signal and overlays, this indicator from Lux Algo. And you can see here, we did get a big buy signal. This was down around $1.73. And if you would have followed that, you would have been up almost 60%. Massively overbought on the 4-hour chart. But again, in bull markets, it really does not matter. It really doesn't matter. We zoom out to the daily on stacks. You can see here, we are seeing a little slowdown in price, but we are if we do get a retrace, I'm going to go back to the 4-hour. If we do get a retrace, I would expect a retrace to around, I'm going to throw the VRVP back on. Should see a retrace around, we'll go like this. We do get a retrace, we should catch some support right around that $2.36 level, which will bring us about halfway down this pull of this bull flag. And so our liquidation point is $2.34. So right below, so we hit our liquidation point below an area where we feel if Stacks does continue to go down, it'll catch some support, but we expect this thing to continue to go back up. So man, we're bullish on Stacks. We did do a video on Stacks. That was a really good one. But if you had invested, let's take a look at Stacks versus BTC, right? Stacks versus Bitcoin. From Binance, you can take a look here, zoom out, go to the daily. You can see here, Stacks has been outperforming Bitcoin since November of last year. So if you had money in Stacks versus Bitcoin, you would be up 250% comparative to if you were to just have your money in Bitcoin. And so this is what Forrest was talking about yesterday. We talked about it on the show all the time as well, is if you can't beat Bitcoin, why would you not just keep it in Bitcoin, right? It doesn't make sense. That's all I got. You got anything else?
No. Good.
That'll do it for the market segment here. So let's move on to some big headline news. Telefonica teams up with Chainlink to provide security against SIM swap hacks. This is something that people like, I believe, Vitalik Buterin, I believe CZ was the victim of a SIM swap, and a lot of big names that led to a lot of people losing money as scam links were posted on their social media platforms. Chainlink is looking to fix that with one of the world's largest telecommunications service providers. Telefonica is partnering with decentralized Oracle network Chainlink to ensure security against Web3 related hacks and exploits, including SIM swaps. This is a quote this is a statement they made. This collaboration marks a significant step in integrating telco capabilities into the blockchain industry and demonstrates the need for secure Oracle networks to deliver real-world data on-chain. This interconnected ecosystem enhances the functionality and security of Web3 applications, contributing to a more robust and verifiable digital landscape. The article goes on to say, one of the first use cases of this initiative will be to prevent exploits such as SIM swaps. Rob, what are your thoughts here? And then what are your thoughts on the implications for, Chainlink being chosen? I feel like Chainlink has a lot of narratives going for it, right? And some people look at that as a bad thing, right? You'd say rather be, you don't want to be the jack of all trades. You want to be the master of one. Chainlink's got a lot of different verticals that they're kind of implementing in the crypto and blockchain ecosystem. Security is becoming one of them. Obviously, we know they're an Oracle service. Obviously, we know their interoperability, their build program. Now you have staking. What are your thoughts on this piece of news, Rob?
I mean, how much of it is actually going to translate into crypto, right? I feel like it's just a service that is made better with blockchain. And I think that's really what they're doing. I don't think that there's I don't think there's a giant market for SIM swapping to get a hold of somebody's Bitcoin, right? So the latter here, from my take, is that it's blockchain, which is a little bit more secure than traditional networks because of its consensus mechanism, and because of that, we can secure a SIM, and it's a little bit more foolproof than having the data stored on a server, right? And I don't know. I mean, is there more to this than
I
meets the
just
eye?
think it's just interesting that to see, right? Because we know companies and institutions and these enterprises are coming into the space. It's just interesting to see who they're picking to partner with, right? Who they're picking to run their infrastructure. And we continue to see Chainlink front and center in the news. Feel like there's little subsectors and verticals that some of these projects are really starting to corner. Let's take a look at Polygon Matic. They're cornering the rewards, the loyalty program, the NFTs of enterprises and companies. Chainlink, it looks like on an infrastructure level, Chainlink continues to be picked as a partner. It does fit the narrative of DePIN, right? Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Network, which is a narrative a lot of people are banking on and investing money in. And I think Chainlink is at the forefront of that. I'm massively bullish on Chainlink. I am massively bullish with the staking now as well. Just adding to the potential buying pressure when it comes to supply and demand. As demand grows, supplies is at the very least going to stay the same. With now over 40 million Link tokens that are staked, I think it's great. So if you don't have exposure to Chainlink, shame on you. Not shame on you if you pre-order the Solana phone 2.0 as pre-orders hit 100,000. Robin, this was a phone, the original Genesis phone. They couldn't sell it out. They had to drop the price by almost 50%. And now their second version, Robin, 100,000 pre-orders, 5 times the original production. The firm said that those 100,000 pre-orders occurred over less than 30 days. The Solana mobile website adds the product should ship in the first half of 2025, now that the milestone has passed. We've been talking about this all week, Robin. One of our afternoon videos that is continuing to see large numbers is our Solana 2.0 video we did. What are your thoughts on this, Robin? Do you think this could be a good investment? I know a lot of it is speculation on, hey, we saw a lot of these airdrops. People made money with airdrops in the Saga phone. Probably going to see more of that in the V2. Is there something more to this? Or do you think it's just people buying it because, hey, I just want some free money?
The people that are signing up for it aren't looking for a new cell phone, right? I mean, I'm sure there's a small percentage there, like, hey, I'm gonna buy this, and I'll go all in. But I mean, it's got to be a small percentage, right? Right? Don't you think?
Yeah.
Hey, it's people trying to farm airdrops, right? Let's not overcomplicate it. You bought the last phone for $500.
Okay. The last phone sold out when everyone found out that the bonk airdrop in the phone was worth more than the phone.
Yeah. Phone, $500, airdrops over $1,000. So,
you know what this tells me, Robin? There are so many ways to make money in this space. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't dive too deep into it as far as actual adoption, but as far as the adoption of the phone, like people actually wanting to buy it and use it and make all their calls and basically trade in their old phone. That's not happening. Now, maybe there's enough pre-orders that they get enough developers here, and all of a sudden the ecosystem grows. And by proxy, right? Because people bought the phone to farm airdrops, they ended up taking some kind of market share in the cell phone game. They brought in more dApps because they had brought in more money from the sales. And all of a sudden, the person that doesn't care about airdrops are like, hey, this is a cool phone with nice features that's a little cheaper than the iPhone. And maybe they just buy it for that reason, right? And maybe the Solana phone takes off because of the initial investment in the baseline project that was intended for Solana dApps, but people just bought it because it's readily available and globally.
It's a Web3 phone, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
here's the other thing. Can we see companies like Apple and Android or Google, whatever, right? The maker of the Samsung, Apple and Samsung. Can we see them implement some of the things we see on the Solana phone via integration with Web3 on their phones, right? That's another thing as well. I want to highlight a Zen guy. Said he ordered a phone. I have an iPhone, but for $500, that is a great deal. I don't care about the airdrops. Said it's just a bonus. So how many people feel the same way? I feel like a majority of people like, let's be honest here.
But that's what I'm saying is that if all of a sudden they sell 100,000 of the phone, right? Say they sell 100,000 of these phones. And in return, they also take that money and they create another 100,000 phones, which if that's the pre-order, maybe they sell all 200,000 of them, right? And you're going to get the attention of Apple and Samsung, right? They're going to be like, yo, this phone is blowing up. And if it carries over at all past the initial sale, so, you know, you got to think that the sales of any phone, iPhone, I don't know this market very well, but I know that the demand for the new iPhone, demand for the new Samsung phones, after a couple months, it dwindles down, right? After a couple months, you stop seeing the commercials on TV. After a couple months, people aren't lining up at the Apple store to buy the new phone. And what we've seen here is the Saga phone saw massive demand damn near a year after it came out. And so if this next phone comes out, they sell 200,000 units right off a rip. And then the demand just keeps going on for 6 months. Apple and Samsung are going to be like, yo, what the hell are they doing over there?
Yep.
And then you're going to start seeing Web3 and crypto integrated into phone. And it makes sense anyways. Why not have a digital wallet on a digital phone? Right? It's all internet-based applications on your phone, which run faster and run more secure on a cell phone. We got a whale party.
We got another whale.
Oh, go.
We're whale watching today.
Simon.
Wasn't Simon already one? I guess he re-upped.
And didn't
He did. Either way, he gets an animation. Actually.
Yeah.
There she blows.
You know, as a whale member, if you bought the Lux Algo Premium Indicators, you would have paid for that pays for 10 months of whale membership. More. Yeah, pretty big. Big shout out to you guys for supporting the channel.
Two whales today, man.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
I like it.
We got a third one on the watch or what?
I don't know. We're on whale watch. We saw a humpback. We saw a sperm whale. Now we need to see the giant of all. It's a blue whale,
Why?
largest mammal in the
You
world.
can't say sperm whale on YouTube, bro.
Why? It's an animal.
Just saying, man.
Just because your mind goes
Just
there.
like my
Just because your mind goes there doesn't mean my mind. I mean, my mind went
and
there
if I'm out there searching for a new planet, I'm not gonna start at Uranus. I'm just saying.
because it's the farthest in the ecosystem, dummy.
I'm just
Anyways, you didn't pay attention in freaking solar planet class. Aren't you the guy that said you fall asleep to astrology videos?
I fall asleep to deep dives into Uranus. It's a planet.
Interesting. Okay. I'm probably going to have to answer some questions when I go home for my wife. Anyways, MicroStrategy shifts focus from a software company to a Bitcoin development company as it amasses $9.5 billion in BTC. Here is Mr. Saylor on CNBC explaining exactly what this is.
Week. You rebranded the company or announced the rebranding of the company as a Bitcoin development company. What does that mean?
Well, it's a natural decision for us, given the success of our Bitcoin strategy and our unique status as the world's largest public company holder of Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is an operating company that can actively manage its capital structure and its business operations with more flexibility than an investment trust, which is what these spot ETFs are. So we're going to develop software. We're going to generate cash flow. We're going to leverage the capital markets, all in order to accumulate more Bitcoin for our shareholders and also to promote the growth of the Bitcoin network.
You're such a G, bro. We're going to make more money. We're going to develop things. And then we're going to take that money and buy more Bitcoin.
Given the fact that the majority of enterprise value is now based upon those Bitcoin-related activities, it makes sense for us to call ourselves a Bitcoin development company in the same way as you see a real estate development company or a petroleum development company.
Yeah, and certainly the largest publicly traded holder of
Robin, what do you think about this, man? I mean, this dude, I mean, we knew he was all in on Bitcoin, right? But to change, like when Facebook went to Meta, they're all in on the metaverse. MicroStrategy completely changing the thesis of their company from a software company to a Bitcoin development company. I mean, it makes sense, right? You have any
Are you
commentary?
surprised?
No.
Yeah. I mean, I think he went all in when he had that YouTube where you send him one Bitcoin and
He's
you get
such an
2 in
idiot.
return. That's when I knew it was real.
That's what I knew.
No, all joking aside, never send anybody Bitcoin on anywhere and expect more in return. Doesn't work that way.
Please, for the love of God, please. I swear to God, if I find out someone from this community did that, I will be extremely mad and disappointed.
Yeah. Just
like we're smarter than that. We're not a
keep your
stupid
Bitcoin
community.
in your pocket. Keep your Bitcoin in your pocket.
No
Stop
one is gonna 2x your Bitcoin for nothing. Please.
The way I look at it, and we'll get back to the Sailor thing here in a second, is that if you hold Bitcoin from now till God knows how long you plan on holding it, you're going to be up massively over time, right? If you're holding it for more than 2 years, you're going to be $100,000 Bitcoin, $500,000 Bitcoin. If you go out 10 years, maybe it's $1 million Bitcoin, whatever it is. Are you really that concerned about making 4 or 5 or maybe even 8% yield on your Bitcoin, but you're risking it all? You're giving it to somebody else. Just think about that. Imagine if you're renting out your only house, right? You have one house and you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep a bedroom in the corner, and you rent it out to who, anyone. You just give somebody the keys. Like, here's the keys. Here's my house. And then you're upset when somebody leaves the iron on and burns the whole damn thing down, right? Just to get a little bit of cash. And so at the end of the day, there's no need to take risk with your Bitcoin in your retirement just to make a 3% return when you're going to make 100x. I mean, you're going to make 100% gains, 2, 3x's, 4x's.
Let me put it to you guys this way, okay? It's going to take a little bit of critical thinking, okay? If it doesn't make sense, don't do it, right? Stake your Bitcoin to earn this much on a platform. You don't stake Bitcoin. It doesn't make sense. On the other hand, you have a platform, let's say Coinbase. They're offering you 10% on Cosmos if you stake it. That makes sense because you can actually stake Cosmos on the mainnet and earn rewards. And of course, they take a fee of that and they pass down some of the money that they make from staking. That makes sense. But if someone's telling you stake your Bitcoin to earn money, no, don't. I was having a conversation yesterday with a bartender I used to work with, and I was like, you see the crypto markets? He's like, I'm still negative. I'm like, how are you still negative? I was like, did you buy the top? He's like, I bought it at $68,000. I was like, let me tell you something, man. I was like, you will still 2x your money in the next year because you held on to your Bitcoin. I also bought a lot of my crypto towards the top of the market in 2021. That is when I heavily started investing. For me, I understood I could potentially be buying the top of the market. I did expect it to go higher, and I was going to take profit and roll it into the next one. But it ended up essentially, I don't know, few months later, topping out. But for me, my time horizon was in decades, not in 1 year, 6 months, 2 years. If your time horizon is also in 5, 10, 20, 30 years, even if you bought the tippy top, even if you buy this tippy top market and you hold it and you don't do anything stupid with it, you're going to make money, man. You're going to make money. So don't do stupid stuff. Speaking of stupid stuff, Rob, you're going to love this one. Ape Chain is a thing now. So Horizon Labs, Off-Chain Labs, and Arbitrum are developing the first layer 1 for Yuga Labs and ApeCoin.
Wow.
It's going to be Ape Chain.
Wow.
In a bid to expand the utility and reach of ApeCoin, Horizon, Off-Chain, and Arbitrum have initiated the development of a dedicated blockchain called Ape Chain. Rob, I feel like this is what's holding back ApeCoin, right? Is it their own
That's
chain?
actually what's holding me back from going all in on the Ape token.
Is it really?
An airdrop that came out a couple years ago that don't know why it has any value for a metaverse promise that I don't think will ever come true. The game is ugly. They're okay. Was it Dookie Dash? The thing was terrible looking.
The game?
Yeah. And
Why
then
didn't
what
they-
what I don't like about their metaverse is that unless they changed it, is that it's supposed to be a web browser game. And web browser games just through the history of gaming, none of them look good. Unless you're playing like Farmville or something. I mean,
That was a great game.
yeah, I wasted a lot of time at school on that one. We do have a couple super chats. Crick Cats, he gave a $2 super chat. Says, send me your BTC and I'll ship you back 2 at UPS.
No.
Also, Pebbleman, $5 super chat. Talking about Solana Beach meme coin and meme coin.
If you're a degenerate and you want low cap coins, today's video that's going to be coming out, it is on the Near Protocol ecosystem. It is a token you probably haven't heard of that has a potential for massive, massive gains, sub 50 million market cap token that is already starting to rip. And you're going to want to watch the video. It's a little more on the technical side, but that is because it is pretty unknown. And I need you guys to understand what it is the network does and why it is so important. It is looking to do what Cosmos and Polkadot is doing, but 10 times better, while bringing some exposure and benefits to the Near ecosystem. And as a Near token holder, it's going to benefit you as well.
Also, a little shout out to the new people here. We got Honk, Antonio, Zen Guy, Clarity Trades, Brian Baca, Sicko Druma, Richard M, Crypto
We kicked
Pollo,
Sicko Druma out of here.
AZ, Marine Sniper, Solid 7. To all of you, hola! Welcome.
Solid 7. I wonder what he's talking about, huh? Now, guys, we just want to want to thank you. Want to thank you for all your support. We appreciate you guys. The link pinned in the comment section, Lux Algo. Love the indicators. You use them on every single show. So if you want to use them as well, learn how to make money, click the link. If you're a Whale member, join our Whale Discord. Also, to our 2 new Whale members, do me a favor. Hop into our Discord. Here, I'll post a link real quick. Hop into our Discord. Ping me, right? Ping me, and I will go ahead and add you to our Whale Discord, and I will give you the special discount code for you to be able to get the Lux Algo, any Lux Algo product for 40% off. Where is our Discord? Here we go.
Also, shout out to Sobe Toby. Says Olaf from Canada.
Also, I want to clarify one thing. Our newest Whale member, we thought it was BCAF. It's not, Robin. It's British Columbia Alf. With that being said, guys, make sure you follow us on Twitter at Sin City Crypto 1. That is where we're most active on social media. Go join our Discord, guys. Got a lot of good stuff in there.
A lot of open the club emojis going on. This new club limit is 300.
350.
300.
That's what Ashley said, 350.
Yeah.
Is it 350?
350.
So 350 likes is what it takes for us to open the club. If you
But
know what-
Ashley will dance as well.
I will get on the desk and dance.
you'll
She will get on the desk and dance. Wow.
I said it.
Interesting. Okay.
I know.
You look
Guys, you heard it here first.
look so enthusiastic.
Wow.
I'm so enthusiastic.
Yeah.
And guys, don't miss tomorrow's show. It is Forest Friday. This man always drops alpha when he's on the show. We love having him on. It's going to be a great one. Today was a great one. A big thank you to our 2 new Whale members and everyone on the Sports Channel. We love you guys. With that being said,
Right?
Wait.
what?
Go ahead.
Ashley,
Yeah.
you're the best. You get a raise.
Score.
Coffee on me tomorrow. And when I say me, I mean the company. Want to give one more shout out to Cam's Blue Wire Technology. If you want to learn how they can help your business scale and grow, visit bluewiretech.com. Also, this finger, it does a lot of things. One thing, it points out our producer and
Bring up
says,
the sperm whale again.
this finger, it tornadoes and it signals to our producer that, hey, we are ready to roll. So with that being said, Ashley,
We are ready to roll.
that was a sloppy tornado.
Go again. It's okay. Try again.
Tight tornado. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It was a blast being on the show with you guys today. We hope you enjoyed the content. Come back tomorrow. Same place, same time. Love you guys. Till tomorrow.
Sin City Crypto.
Everybody know what we here for. Entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in. For big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado